Hello, welcome to this video on Bodhicaryavatara, chapter 6, the Chanti Paramita, verse 10. As usual, I will read out the text, read out the words without the text on screen, and then I'll call up the text. Yadyastyeva pratikaro daurmanasyena tatra kim atta nasti pratikaro Dormanasyena tatra kim. Now I'll call up the text. Here we are. Yadyastyeva pratikara. Sorry, I was reading from the box of the Sandhi taken out correctly. Yadyastyeva pratikaro dormanasyena tatra kim. Attanasti pratikaro dormanasyena tatra kim. Basically, this verse says, what's the use of worrying? It says, yadi asti eva, if indeed there is. Yadi, if asti is, or there is, eva, emphatic. So, if there is indeed a pratikara, a remedy, pratikara from the root kri, meaning to do, kara, a doing, with the upasarga, the verbal prefix prati, having the idea of reciprocity, mutuality, or counter, anti. So pratikara can be construed as a counter action or an antidote, something that counteracts or countervails it. So yadyastyeva pratikara, if there is a counteraction to it, if there is something that can counteract it or act as a remedy for it. Dormanasyena tatra kim. Dormanasyena, which is dejection, despondency. This is the frequent construction here. We see an instrumental with kim, meaning what. What by dejection means what's the use of being dejected. Often in the form not of a real question, but of a rhetorical question. As we'd say in English, what's the use of that? Putting it as a question, but meaning it's no use at all. This is very, very frequent in Sanskrit and Pali as well. Dormanasyena kim. What's the point of being downcast, downhearted about it? Tatra, in the gloss I've written then, the basic meaning of tatra is there. This suffix tra, not to be confused by the way of the suffix of instrumentality, as in shastra, yantra, tantra. This is an entirely separate thing, just coincidentally also has the form tra, and it's a suffix of place. So from kim we have ku, kutra, where, sarva, every or all, sarvatra, everywhere. Atra, here, tatra, there. So it means the primary meaning is there in a physical sense, but it also then has a logical meaning, there's in that case, well in. So if there is a remedy, so what is the use in that case of being downhearted? It can also mean tatra, it can also mean in that respect. So it could equally well be construed to mean what's the use of being downcast in that respect. But I would tend to construe it here as a counterbalance to yajyastyeva pratikaro, if there is a remedy, tatra, in that case, that being the case, dormanasya kim, what's the point of being downcast about it? This dormanasya, let me call up my iPad. Here we are. It's from our root. Oops. Let's build up the word for you. Man, root meaning to think, cognate with mind, from which we have our word manas, the mind. Durmanas, literally bad-minded. This dur meaning, it always has a negative implication. It doesn't always mean bad. It can just mean sad as well. Bad-minded means you're feeling bad in yourself, feeling bad about yourself. You're durmanas. And here we make an abstract noun, a vriddhi derivative abstract noun. So what we do, and this is a very regular formation, vriddhi of the first syllable, so dur becomes daur, and add ya to the end. If it's a consonantal declension, just add ya directly to the consonant of the stem, so durmanas, dormanasya. If it's an a stem, for example, as in the word kushala, meaning skillful, then you knock off the a and replace it by a ya. So that's how you get kaushalya. Kushala, kaushalya. So kaushalya meaning skillfulness. So that is how we get to durmanasyena kim. This is the same word. It turns up in Pali as dormanassa. And I've done a note on it in the. I've done a note on it. Yeah, I've put a note on how the word is formed, and also how it's come into Greek. This is etymologically exactly the same word, but in Greek it has being mad-minded doesn't mean being downcast. It means having a hostile mind towards somebody else, and therefore the meaning of that word is hostile. And for any of you who know Persian, Urdu, Hindi, we have in Persian it's pronounced dushman, which is an enemy. In modern Hindi, I don't know if the word is used in modern Urdu and Hindi, I think it is, it would be pronounced dushman. But so that is etymologically that same word, but with that different meaning, having a bad mind towards somebody. But remember in Sanskrit and Pali, durmanas, dummanaso, daurmanasya, dumanassa, it means dejection, depression even. The second line of this verse, oops, let me call up here, atta. Now, atta is another word meaning here, me atra or atta. And it so often means on the one hand, on the here and there, on the one hand I say this, on the other hand I say that. So atta is here, and look here or here in this respect. So first line, yadyastyeva pratikaro dormanasyena tatrakim. Atta doesn't really add anything to the meaning, and here, and on the other hand, by contrast, atta nasti pratikaro, that is atta na asti pratikaro. Here there is no remedy, meaning I think that the yadi at the first line does service in the second line as well. So, and if there is no remedy, attanasti pratikaro, then he repeats it. Dormanasyena tatrakim. Then what's the use of being depressed about it? So saying in neither event is there any point in experiencing dormanasya. It is pointless in both cases, whether it's remediable or irremediable. In either event, it's pointless to be depressed or miserable about it. So I'll read this through once more. Yadyastyeva pratikaro daurmanasyena tatra kim attanasti pratikaro daurmanasyena tatra kim. And once more. Yadyastyeva pratikaro daurmanasyena tatra kim attanasti pratikaro dormanasyena tatrakim. And that's it for this video.